In the shadowed corridors of the anime world, few characters are as enigmatic as Lawliet from Death Note. His very presence is a dance of intellect and eccentricity, a symphony of shadows that captivates the mind. To understand we must delve into the depths of his psychological profile, exploring the dark alleys of his Enneagram Type 5 persona, where the thirst for knowledge becomes both his greatest gift and his formidable curse. The quintessential investigator, embodies the core motivations of an Enneagram Type 5. Known as the investigator or observer, Type 5s are driven by an insatiable desire to understand the world around them. This core desire manifests in L's every move as he unravels the mysteries of the Death Note. Yet accompanying this thirst for knowledge is a core fear, the fear of being useless or helpless. For this fear translates into a relentless need to stay one step ahead, to master the unknown before it can master him. As we watch his behavior patterns reveal themselves like a complex puzzle. His reclusive lifestyle, the stark solitude of his existence, is a testament to his Type 5 nature. He craves the sanctuary away from the chaos of the world, where he can analyze and strategize without interruption. In real-world parallels, Type 5s often retreat into their minds, creating fortresses of solitude to guard against a world they perceive as intrusive and overwhelming. But what of L's shadow, those hidden aspects of his psyche that lurk beneath the surface? In the Jungian framework, the shadow represents the parts of ourselves we deny or reject. For this shadow is his fear of intimacy and vulnerability. To maintain his intellectual edge, he distances himself from emotional entanglements, turning even his closest allies into mere pawns in his cerebral chess game. Yet it is this very detachment that serves as both L's strength and his tragic flaw. The more he distances himself emotionally, the more isolated he becomes, increasing his vulnerability in the face of emotional warfare waged by his ultimate adversary, Light Yagami. L's intellectual prowess becomes his armor, but it is an armor that can shatter under the weight of emotional deception. In the ecosystem of Death Note, takes on the archetype of the wise old man, a mentor figure who guides others through his vast knowledge and strategic mind. Yet, he also embodies the trickster, using deception and misdirection as tools in his quest for truth. This duality highlights the tension between knowledge as a means of enlightenment and knowledge as a pathway to manipulation. His interactions with light, his polar opposite in this deadly game, create a narrative tension that is rich in psychological complexity. L's Type 5 characteristics clash with Light's Type 3, achiever mindset, where ambition and the desire for success drive a relentless pursuit of power. Their cat and mouse dynamic is not just a battle of wits, but a profound exploration of contrasting worldviews and existential fears. As navigates this treacherous landscape, he begins to confront his shadow, the unintegrated parts of himself that Light manipulates so expertly. It's here that we witness the beginning of L's psychological integration, a path that requires him to embrace vulnerability and acknowledge the limits of his intellectual dominance. In moments of introspection, we see glimpses of L's humanity, those rare instances where his facade cracks, revealing the lonely soul beneath. It's a reminder that even the most brilliant minds are not immune to the human condition, to the need for connection and understanding. So, as you ponder L's journey, consider the mirror it holds up to your own psyche. Are there parts of yourself hidden in the shadow, waiting to be acknowledged? How does your own Enneagram type shape your interactions with the world? L's story is a testament to the power of self-awareness and the courage it takes to face our inner demons. In the end, Lawliet's character teaches us that the quest for knowledge is an eternal journey, one that requires us to balance intellect with empathy, to embrace both the light and the shadow within. As you reflect on L's story, ask yourself, how do you navigate the labyrinth of your own mind? The labyrinth of one's mind is indeed a complex and often dark terrain, much like L's own intricate world. His journey is emblematic of the eternal struggle within us all to reconcile our intellectual aspirations with our emotional realities. As L grows in his understanding of the game's stakes, we see him wrestling with the Enneagram Type 5's basic fear, being useless or helpless without their intellect. This fear fuels his relentless pursuit of the truth, yet it also blinds him to the nuances of human emotion, leaving him isolated on his pedestal of reason. In the realm of shadow integration, L's journey becomes a poignant dance between light and darkness. His intellectual prowess is his greatest asset, but also his greatest weakness. The shadow of arrogance lurks beneath his composed exterior, a specter that Light, with his own Type 3 cunning, capitalizes on. Light's ability to manipulate and strategize mirrors L's, creating a reflection that forces L to see his own hubris and the limits of his rationality. Their confrontations are masterclasses in psychological warfare, each encounter peeling back layers of their respective psyches. In these moments, L's vulnerability is laid bare, not to the world, but to himself. This self-awareness is not an immediate revelation, but a gradual, often painful process that begins to redefine his interactions with others. It beckons him to step out of the isolation that his intellect has constructed and to consider the human element of his investigations. L's relationship with his team, particularly with figures like Watari, offers a glimpse of his capacity for connection. Watari, serving as both a father figure and a tether to reality, represents the mentor archetype, guiding L not only in strategy but in the subtle art of human connection. Through Watari, L is reminded that logic and reason cannot replace the warmth of human understanding and trust. As L delves deeper into the psychological intricacies of his adversaries, he must also navigate his own internal conflicts. The stress of the case pushes him toward his Type 5 integration point, where he might embrace the healthy aspects of Type 8, seeking assertiveness and the courage to confront his fears head-on. However, L's journey is not linear, and moments of stress can also cause regression, pulling him back into isolation, reinforcing his Type 5 detachment as a defense mechanism against vulnerability. The narrative is rich with these cycles of growth and regression, mirroring our own struggles with self-improvement and self-awareness. In our darkest moments, we too may retreat into the safety of what we know, fearing the vulnerability that comes with change. Yet just as L learns, true integration requires us to face these moments with courage, to allow our shadows to come to light, and to embrace the entirety of our being. A particularly revealing moment in L's story occurs during his more personal interactions with Light, where the lines between ally and adversary blur. These interactions become crucibles for both characters, shaping their paths as they tiptoe around trust and betrayal. Here we see L grappling with the Enneagram's concept of virtue and vice. His virtue of non-attachment often slipping into the vice of avarice, a hoarding of knowledge and control that distances him from genuine connection. This tension is palpable in scenes where L's stoicism falters, where a fleeting glance or a subtle shift in tone betrays the emotional undercurrents at play. In these rare glimpses, we see the Enneagram 5's journey towards integration, the delicate balance between hoarding knowledge and embracing the vulnerability of sharing and trusting. L's path is a microcosm of the broader human experience, a reminder that the pursuit of knowledge and understanding is inherently tied to our interpersonal connections. His story compels us to reflect on our own lives, urging us to consider the ways we might hide behind our achievements or intellect and the cost of such defenses on our relationships. As the narrative unfolds, we are invited to witness L's transformation, not in grand gestures, but in the subtle shifts of perspective that mark true personal growth. His journey is a testament to the power of introspection and the courage required to venture into the unknown, not just in the world around us, but within ourselves. In this exploration, we are reminded that the quest for self-knowledge is an ever-evolving process. It demands that we challenge our assumptions, confront our deepest fears, and embrace the multiplicity of our identities. Just as L learns to integrate his shadow, we too are encouraged to acknowledge the parts of ourselves we may have long ignored, to find strength in vulnerability, and to seek balance in our own psychological landscapes. So, as we leave L's story, let it be a catalyst for our own journeys, an invitation to delve deeper into the labyrinths of our minds, to seek out the shadows that linger and bring them into the light of